So welcome on in, you guys. We're starting another episode of the Paladins Bugcast. This is episode another one. Episode 17. 3 more episodes away from our 20th, and we will be celebrating that one for sure. We're talking about buffs, and today we have Tino. We've got Elkie.
Bonsoir.
And then I think Itachi said he'll be back. Raze is, like I said, either still sleeping or at work. So they'll probably join in whenever. Either way, this is an open discussion, so anyone in chat can just shoot the shot, say whatever you want to say about whatever we're talking about, and we'll include it. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but still get into it, because this is a very vague topic, and I chose it for good reason, because there's a lot of scenarios at play where we're talking buffs. We could be talking about characters running a certain talent, or card-based buffs, or we can be talking about team buffs. So it really can follow suit down to the wire to really anything. It can apply to anything. And so I summarized it into these, simple questions, but it will just be a discussion, and we'll add kind of whatever in there, but we'll be talking about it. So we'll start off with what exactly is a buff. So we can all give our opinion on what exactly a buff is, but I think it's short and sweet and simple. You're basically finding a way to improve yours, if not the team's gameplay, or make the game work out in your favor. Like I said earlier, by utilizing your builds, buys, talents, and sometimes even the maps. Justin, how would you word or explain to someone who doesn't understand what a buff is in this game?
I would say a buff is something that changes an aspect about either you or your teammate to give an advantage in a situation.
That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't find advantage.
I was thinking more like the word enhance gameplay.
Oh, I like that.
Enhance
Enhance is a good word, yeah. Turok says, my favorite buff is shield sharing by Moji and Corvus's dark talent cooldown buff. I like that.
Corvus's dark talent is one of the... Besides Ray, he's probably got the most buffs that he puts out because of that. He might even top Ray with the buffs.
With that, yeah. I don't know. With the right build, I feel like, in the right Corvus player, I feel like you really could. But then again, that build I made yesterday on Ray, that 125k healing game on the onslaught, that was stinky.
I'm gonna test this build out.
I was testing a fucking build, and that amazed me. I haven't been impressed by my own Ray gameplay in a long time. It took me a while to because I was stubborn and haven't redone my build since her being, altered. I really haven't. But I'm glad I did, girl, because, whew, sneaky. Alright, so how do you want to word this for the page?
What is a buff? A way to enhance the gameplay for your teammates.
Gameplay for your teammates. And I'll put C examples in parentheses. Bruh. OMG, please. Canva loves to cuck me live. I feel like the makers of Canva giggle when I do this and I have a stroke trying to fix the font. They're like, look at her, she's at it again. It's every fucking time. Alright, so copy that same size. Turok says, I want to say tiny buffs can help, but anything 6% and lower, usually granted by one person, doesn't do so much. But if there's more than one source, they do stack and gain real value over time. And I think that that is a very important aspect. I think us talking about why is it important, it's a good segue into that. Why is it important to know that? Well, because, like Turok is saying, let's say Ray, for example, or Corvus, if you are just solo healing and you don't have the appropriate build to enhance the gameplay or help your allies in those situations where they're getting overwhelmed by the enemy team with 2 to 3 players, gangbanging in the corner, it's not going to make a difference. You're not going to feel it. Justin even said, when I said, do you feel the speed? But that's because I wasn't linked to him when I asked that question. So then I asked him again when I linked to him, and he was like, whoa, his answer changed. So it does matter. You do need to know whether or not the build you're making or whatever talent you're wanting to run with a thought process of, okay, this is going to do this. Well, is it? You have to consider, what is the enemy team going to do? What is your teammates going to do? Justin, why is it important? Are you muted? Are you stepped away?
Hi. I guess my cord muted. So I think buffs are like, why is it important? Because it gives you that advantage. This game is already balanced out on a pretty kind of like, not necessarily, but most damage can kind of, keep it the same level of damage in one form or another, whether that's adding your abilities to your basic fire or something like that, right? So those buffs put you over. They help you cross certain thresholds too. Like some champions, it needs like 4 shots to kill them, but if you have a damage buff, maybe it only takes 3 shots to kill them, for example. So it can help your time to kill. It can help your time to live. It can, kind of make or break a certain situation.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to word it as you were typing or as you were saying.
I realize I need to be more simple with my answers sometimes.
Well, I know how to like
word
listen to
vomit.
you and kind of like summarize it. So I try to do that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. No worries.
I realize as you start typing, I'm like,
I can type fast, but like my brain no doing as fast. Okay, so I put can affect the damage output, movement speed, or help take the point in a fight, saving ammo, or decrease the time to kill.
Yeah, they can help save your ammo.
Actually,
Save your life.
increase.
Yeah, it can make or break a game. Like, you get a buff at the right second, you're either saved or you're killing them.
Right, like if you're running away from somebody and then bam, you get that
Grok
IO
ult.
speed,
Grok ult.
or Grok even.
Grok
boom,
ult has
saves
saved
you,
my
yeah,
ass
saves
so
you.
many times.
Save
Yeah,
Let you win that battle.
Like
Turok
Anara
says,
trying to run away from a fight gets IO speed.
dude.
Buff. Okay, now I can move.
Yeah. Yeah. Or gets an elim on full lethality. Goodbye. But Turok said, I want to say tiny. Oh wait, no, I read that already. They said buffs can also kind of debuffs, which I want to kind of talk more on that. So debuffs, you think you're running something that's helping you when really it's hurting you, which I don't want to say too much because that applies to the 4th thing about diminishing returns. But again, you running certain talents for a specific reason because on paper it sounds good, but then you go to run it and it's not because you're completely countered by the enemy team. Then what? Now you're relying heavily on your team that may not have as well been equipped for that. So it's like now we're going back to a couple episodes ago when we were talking about adapting to that situation. So now we're segueing into what are some examples of buffing, or in some cases where you're trying to buff your team, but it's actually it's debuffing. It's not helping you.
Well, we've already talked about Ray and Corvus. They just put out a plethora of buffs. Those
Right.
are just generally 2 good examples.
Yeah.
One of my favorite buffs, and you've already mentioned it already, was the Nyx and the Barrack shields giving speed boost.
Mm-hmm.
That can also counter you a lot against slows too. So like buffs countering debuffs can also be a thing.
Right. Unless
So like
you're
say
like Nyx.
Anara puts her slow down, right?
Yeah.
That's a 60% slow. That's a huge slow. You're
Yeah.
almost in a swamp right there.
Yeah.
You throw your Barrack shield at your feet, and if you have max movement speed, boom. Now Anara's only slowing you down by 10%. One thing of Sentinel, boom. Your shield counters her cripple or her movement speed. Her slow. There you go. So I think buffs can also be used to counter debuffs if you use them right. Kind of like those situations.
That's a really good
That's
way
an
to put
example.
that. That is. No, it really is, because I'm envisioning it as you're saying it. Like, what if they have a dredge or a tib, who can slow you? Like, now your whole plan is kind of out the window. But in the same breath, let's say you are the Anara in that situation. You have Anara and Nyx on the same team. Now that's a stinky duo. Let's say Anara is struggling with a Barrack because of that. Well, here comes Nyx. Now Nyx can put out her cripple shit. Go ahead and do the pull. Get Barrick out of, formation. Now he's disoriented. Now his team's having to come help him. So it's like, that could be true, but also the Knicks could be helping in that situation. Now that's a very specific example, but you see what I'm getting at. Like, as Anara's dealing with that, there's also Knicks coming in with a buff for an ally and putting the shield down for movement. So maybe you are slowing Anara, but now Nyx done put down her shield. And I'm just picturing like a Barrack shield with a fucking Nyx shield and Anara cripple, like this just whole clusterfuck happening on the point. Like that's just what popped up in my head just now. That's why I'm saying this example, because like that's how it's playing out in my head.
Right.
Well, sorry, go ahead. I was going to respond to what he was saying, but because when I went with debuffs, he wasn't speaking, and what you said, we were kind of on a different side of what he meant by what he was saying. Like, he likes debuffing the enemy team, but you took it and went the opposite, which I like these conversations for that reason, because we talk about all angles of the same thing. I like that. What were you saying, Justin?
I was just gonna say another like example that you don't really think of when you think of buffs too often. At least I don't think other people do. Maybe Octavia. Octavia is one of the best team buffs because she provides it to her whole team. You can do cooldowns, increase credits, shields on respawns, ultimate charge rate. Like you get your choice of 4 different buffs, and it goes for the whole team. And you don't have to put them down. You don't have to have any requirements to activate them. You just play the game and they're there for the whole team. So I think Octavia is also a very supportive champion in her own right, just because of her passive choices. I guess there is one requirement if you do the shields. You have to die and go back to spawn.
Yeah. I'm just adding in here Torvald too before I forget.
But yeah, Torvald is huge on giving buffs. Sky even. Smoke and Dagger Sky. Y'all know that movement speed I like to provide. It gives healing, reloads your ammo, movement speed. Like, a flank being able to support the team like that, that's kind of wild to me, but I like it. Granted, you do have to run the talent for Sky to make it happen, but...
Right. But that's why I talked very general, because it's like we're all talking not just builds, but like talents and things like that. Some of these champs have it in their base kit to support their team, so, I mean...
Now, if you're playing Ray and you're going to link to me and give me a speed boost, you better fucking warn me or else I'm going to run right into a goddamn wall.
That's what happened yesterday when she said, do you feel it? And then she did it again. That's pretty much what happened.
I said, do you feel it? And he said no, right? I realized I wasn't linked to him. I linked to this man. Mind you, he already warned me he had 30% movement speed in his base cave. He's playing Shaolin. He was going a speed build for the fucking memes. I said it again as I linked him, and this nigga was like, oh!
Yeah,
Next thing I know, I'm across the fucking map, and I don't know how I got here.
I watched him jump over a wall, and we were playing in Bazaar. Shaolin! Like, he wall jumped because he fucking was going so fast, and you did the F ability.
Like,
that shit was funny.
Imagine linking to a Pip when he hits his F ability and he goes forward. Like,
oh my god.
Jump across the map.
Yeah, I know.
You go visit ice mines on each bounce.
Goodbye.
You'll be in Bazaar.
Turok says...
Another game.
Turok says, that's why Octavia is my favorite. Her main weapon kit is just unfun to use. Yeah.
That's fair, yeah. I feel like, her main weapon kit is kind of... I hate to say boring, but it's the same thing as like Victor and Vivian. They kind of fall into that same.
That's kind of probably why they gave her all those buffs to compensate for how boring that shit.
Pew,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think Octavia is awesome just because of that.
Ammo regen buffs are insanely good too. Yeah, that's why I included that because I didn't want to forget that note. So like Torvald gives ammo. Ray can give ammo gen. I don't know. Actually, no. I don't know if it's ammo
Sky
or
Can.
reload, or she has a card for both. I forget.
I think she has reload. Let me double check. I'm on it right now.
Unless they've changed
I know
that.
she has a reload. I don't
Maybe
know if she
once
has an
upon,
ammo
I
one also,
remember
though.
being able to, because I used to play with Daddy Mouse a lot as Ray, and I remember he liked playing with me because I helped him get his ammo back faster. So it might have been that.
Lepori Prayer grants 50% reload speed.
Reload speed.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He must have had an ammo gen, like, maybe. Does Tyra have ammo gen?
Man, using
think
that
all
build
DPS
with
I think
do.
she
me
has
and
Oh.
something
Zen
like if
with
she
my
uses her
fucking
missiles, I think.
reload speed
her
on Zen
nades.
would be insane.
Wait, what'd you say?
If you have Ray linking with that 50% reload speed on my Zen, because I buff out my Zen's reload speed, and I get the
You do the one on
card.
below?
Yeah.
Oh, that's stinky. Ew.
So not only do I heal on below, I'm also reloading within like not even a second.
Yeah.
By halfway through the game.
An array linking to you, you basically have your full fucking ammo back.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. The next one is, what are ways you can combo buff? This is a fun question because there's a lot of answers for this.
Right.
I mean, you want to start it? Because there's too many thoughts going through my head right now.
Yeah, sure. Combo buff. Let's see here.
Conmoji?
Combo buff, Turok. Like, combo it with another ally. Which I gave one example.
With Moji Shield.
Oh, ew.
That provides a lot of survivability.
You stink.
I'm just saying. You got the whole team Nexicon. Throws up that heal. Moji throws up her shield. Y'all are living.
I think Ray and Torvald together make it really good. You have the reload speed from Ray plus Torvald, providing a little bit of ammo, so it's kind of good for, making sure that your team's not running out of ammo, or if they do,
Right.
cool, you get your Ray reload speed kind of thing.
Turok says Corvus Lilith, Corvus Octavia, Octavia Moji. I like the Corvus Lilith. Go into detail on that. Corvus Lilith, why?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
But that is really fucking stinky.
I have a guess, but I'm gonna let Turok say.
Yeah, I wanna
I think I know.
learn us something, please.
Gonna get learnt today.
God rest my uncle's soul. I used to love when you'd say that.
I'll say mine after if it's not what Turok's saying, because that just chimes something in my head. Damn it, those are like two of my mains. How did I not think of that?
That's actually a really good Corvus Lilith. I like that. That was like heal and shield for Conmoji.
I think while we're waiting on that one, I guess it's not a buff, that's a kit. Hang on, let me think of buffs.
What about Maldamba Io? The movement speed that they both can provide?
Just about to say Maldumba Willow.
Ooh.
Gourd throwing the gourd down right on top of the anti-healing.
Oh, that's actually really good. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna do that. I like that.
Because gourd hurts them, doesn't it? When you throw it down?
So yeah.
Throw that down with anti-healing, you're just gonna siphon them a little bit.
Off of Turok's, it's not what I was thinking, but I do like that. I will say the speed boost isn't going to be a true 45%. It does start diminishing at 30%, so it's probably going to be closer to like
Potatoes awake.
38, 30.
Potatoes awake?
Yeah, he just sent me a Snapchat.
Where's my phone at? Where is my phone? What the fuck? Turok says Corvus and Lilith can give 45% speed boost if one is marked. Kiss at the same time. Then, if you want to, Corvus can grant lifesteal. Oh yeah. Plus, I mean, him going lifesteal and then her swarm with life rip is really stinky.
So, well, life rip doesn't affect her swarm.
Oh.
It's already in her base kit. It is in her base kit though.
But when she's right clicking someone.
Swarm.
Or no?
Well, when yeah, if she's using her basic attack, but her swarm damage in kit already has lifesteal.
No, yeah, but I'm
because it's an
saying like if
ability,
she's
you
marking
stack on lifesteal.
someone, let's say she's marking someone, and Corvus is shooting at them. Corvus already has lifesteal. Would that affect Lilith then? If he marks her? Because I know it wouldn't heal her, obviously, but
No, she doesn't receive healing.
no, not.
from
I
your
know that. I
allies.
know that. I'm talking about the buff though. The buff of like, because he grants lifesteal. So would she not benefit from that or no?
Yes, she. That's the only thing that she does benefit from is lifesteal.
That's
So
what I was curious
what I was
about.
gonna say
Yeah.
from what Turok kind of brought up in mind is Lilith's ult provides true lifestealing, meaning Cauterize does not affect it. So if you stack Corvus's lifesteal on top of Lilith's ult, you have enhanced lifesteal that is now true lifesteal.
That is incredibly sneaky. We just went over like 5 examples for that one combo. That's crazy. I have a space for maybe one more combo that we haven't named already. I like that though, Turok, because you're thinking outside of the box. It's good to
You
pick.
haven't brought up Ying's ult at all.
I know I'm late. I'm sorry.
Potato!
Now is kind of like a counter.
If you're watching this on YouTube, can you comment a potato for Potato waking up? Put
We
it-
also haven't talked about Grover.
So maybe Grover Ying? That's a huge... I've had a Grover Ying Alton Androxus to kill me! Like, dude.
But what buffs are y'all?
Yeah,
considering?
that's... I mean, they're
Those are
alt.
just healing. Those are just like straight healing buffs.
Healing. But it's not a buff, though. That's the ultimate.
It's not a buff.
That's why I was refraining from a lot of what I'm saying. Is I'm trying to like look at.
I
the
know,
buffs
yeah, we were
specifically,
trying to
not
stay
just,
from
like,
base kit
'cause
stuff.
At first, I was thinking combos like Furia Beam plus.
So,
Con ults,
remember,
like,
I'm
but those aren't
talking
really
about
buffs, right?
champions that have buffs either naturally, like built in, or their ultimates, or with abilities, or with oh, Milo! Yo, everybody say hi to Milo. That's the motherfucker I was talking about. I was playing with this morning. That's my motherfucking homie. How you doing, bruh? Nah, but
Combo buffs?
yeah, we're talking about combo buffs. Well, no, yes. Sorry, brain not doing. Okay, there.
I would say this is kind of like a combo buff debuff kind of situation.
All right, lay it on me.
But Grok speed totem plus Pip's slow. Somebody who's going after an enemy, you have Grok speed totem, and then Pip slows them.
That is a
Bruh.
very good example.
You're
I
just running
like
circles around
that.
them at that
I
point.
stopped picking characters out of my head because I was also thinking Grok and Moji with the.
Were
speed
you really?
and-
Y'all stink. It's
Shield.
because he lives in people's heads. Like, Justin just fucking finishes people's
I do.
sentences sometimes. It's creepy as shit.
You said Grok, and I
I'm
was like,
secretly.
"Fuck, get out of my head."
Oh, what's? I'm secretly a hypno. I'm just all in your head.
So, Grokall plus Pip Slow. Milo, we are having a podcast. We do this every Wednesday, Saturday, and we're just talking about buffs in general. Right now, we're covering combo buffs. We pretty much talked about what it is, why it's important, some examples, and we're just overall having a conversation about it. Feel free to put your thoughts. Also, if anyone has any good Tib builds, they are wanting to play some Tib. They are feeling some type of way about Tib, and it broke my heart because I'm a Tib main. I didn't let them see that though. I didn't play with them on Tib because they were playing it, so I was like, well, that'd be kind of rude for me to just insta-lock it. So feel free to take it in my builds if you want to try them. They're not the best, but I'm telling you, like what I was telling you in chat, if you want to have some fun on Tibby, like my builds are really fun, but I run Vicious Assault. You can run Tigrons with one of my builds. I forget which one. I think it's Snooty Booty.
Duty booty.
Yeah, it's named Snooty Booty. I think that's the name. Pretty sure. I don't know. I have so many cringe names.
Turok, I would say stuns count more of like a debuff, but we consider they're like on the same spectrum, just opposite sides of it. So go
Right.
for it.
Yeah,
What
go
you
for
got?
it.
What you got?
Yeah. Leaping Tigron stacks with his ult.
Oh, you're talking like if he does the spinny thing, if he gets the damage reduction. Well, he gets full immunity in it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. I don't. I've never played him defensively, so And I-
we're all aggressive.
and I say aggressive. I don't want you guys to be like.
Not a tip player.
They're probably like defensively question mark. What do you mean? I know what you're inferring. Like you're going in when you're doing that, but I don't run the DR cards because I'm focusing on the execute. Feel me? So I don't need the DR. Like I'm going in for the execute, and a lot of the times I'm using my ult for mobility. But
when I refer to all of us, I would just really bet me and Allie.
yeah, we're literally the. Well, no, Justin plays Tib sometimes.
But I mean, like out of.
I will say I do play a more passive Tib though.
Oh well, yeah, you do play different.
Like I said, I'm like it's just me and you are the only ones that play really aggressive with Tib. Like we when we try to play passive, we get mad.
The thing is, Turok, is that on paper that sounds great, but in my lobbies I go against way too many people that know how I play Tib that are going to go anything that is CC to grab me to stop me in. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in the fucking sky for 5 seconds. I gotta execute them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, thank you. I don't want to be fucking around the world in front of a fucking Genos Omen. No, thank you. I want to execute their bussy hole before they touch me. That's just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Mode, just slash.
Because I used to play that way when I was doing was it Tigrons? Yeah, Tigrons. I used to play the DR and Spinny, but no doing no more. But that is a good idea though, and I don't know if it stacks. It's a good question because I don't play that, so I actually can't answer that. Also, can anybody else snooze the ads? Sneeze on the ads. EV the ads, please.
Crap! How do I bring it back up? Oh no, I'm terrible.
Thank you. Someone did it.
Okay, it's done.
Ash Omen double knockback combo. Okay, that is stinky, but hard to pull off.
Knockbacks are also not affected by diminishing returns, which like stuns. If you stack stuns, they'll have diminishing.
Would that
stuns.
stack with a Cassie boot?
Not because they are instant reactions.
Wait. Could that stack? Hear me out. Ash Omen Cassie?
Yeah, you would send someone to a whole other game, not even to another map. Yep, they fully stack.
What about that thing me and somebody did?
Knockbacks and knockups.
Me and so and so did the other day when they Omen grabbed them and then I pooped them with Cassie.
That works, 100%. Especially if Omen has already started to throw them, that counts as its instant knockback, and then Cassie, once the bullet connects, it's a whole nother instance of a knockback, so they won't stack, or they do stack, but without diminishing.
You said diminishing returns doesn't affect the knockback and knockups, or just knockbacks?
Knockbacks or knockups.
Yeah, because they're both the same thing.
They're both instant reactions, whereas like a stun, it's a stun for a certain duration, right? It's a slow for a certain duration, or while you're in that field or something, right? So those have diminishing returns when you stack those up. But because knockbacks and knockups are instant reactions, they do not have diminishing returns.
Alright, I'm back, sorry.
Welcome back.
Had a phone call.
Yes.
Here's my doctor's office.
Yeah, imagine Dombo with
Hopefully
full
everything's
reload
good.
speed not having that internal cooldown for his stuns.
That's so
He would
stinky.
literally lock someone out of the game.
Bro, I've been against some comps that are sweaty like that do that. They don't even want to
I
play
would
the
just turn my
objective.
game
They
off
just
and not say anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I accept my fate.
It's memes for them, and I'm just like, damn, I'm really getting farmed being like last night, bro. There was a game.
Ooh.
Who was I playing where I felt like I was getting thrown around last night, and it pissed me off. I was just getting thrown around. I think I was playing Io. Like I kept stunning someone, and then they kept blowing me back. It was Cassie and someone else. I think it was Cassie Ash. What game was that? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're thinking of. But that also reminded me of whenever Ash was charging up her punch, and I punched her over with Talus, and I didn't even know I could do that. And it fucked
Wait,
her
so
dash
you
up,
could
and she
you
jumped off
can
the map.
counter her preparing for the dash with Talus?
I can actually move.
Yeah, like she was trying to dash to somebody else, so I was off to her side, and I punched her, and I saw her move with my punch. Like it actually pushed her, and I was like,
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'd
no,
never seen that. And then she
I'm
dashed off the
pretty
map
sure-
because she
I'm
didn't hit the
pretty
person she
sure-
meant to.
I'm pretty sure Talus's punch does boop, but
It does.
Yeah, no, it does, but I didn't think it would affect Ash. Because
Yeah.
Ash,
Oh, you're right.
But it makes
Oh, yeah,
sense.
I
I
thought
don't
she
know.
had,
It affects Yak too.
Did that cancel the animation?
Let me double check. I'm reading her kit right now because like I'm still trying to
Bruh,
figure
did we
that
just
out from
learn something?
yesterday. Shoulder bash. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about being CC or crowd control immune at all, or even resistant
I
to
always
it.
thought
Yeah,
it
where does
shoulder
was.
bash.
Yeah.
Did they
What
I know
change
color do you
that
that?
want
if you
your
run
speed?
the talent, you get damage reduction, but
That's
yeah.
always been the same.
Why did I
That's always been the
feel?
same.
I know you could always
It's always
like
been the
stun her and
same?
pull her out of it. Yeah,
Why
like
do I feel like
she
it was ever different? I'm
I don't know, maybe it
bugging.
was at one point.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging, but I could have sworn that like I know she has the DR, but I just for some reason thought her shoulder bash, for some reason, was CC immune.
I
Yeah.
thought she was at least planted in that form. Like I know you can stun
Yeah.
her, I know you can like grab her, things like that, but I didn't know you could actually like push her while she's in it too. So when I did
They need
that
to give
yesterday,
her
I
a
was like,
card where
"What
she
the
could be. That'd be
fuck?"
actually stinky as fuck. I'd max that
Right.
shit.
Turok did put out another really good. I know we're done with combos, but just to mention it, turning someone into a cookie and then booping them off the map, 100% it works.
What? I've never
Use
tried to
a
do
moji
that.
cookie on
I've
somebody,
never
boop
tried to
them
do
off
that.
the map. They can't
If
use
you
their
spawn
abilities to
grab
try and come
someone,
back, even if it's like an
if you
Andro or somebody. Boom,
Wait,
easy.
you said
emoji in con, it's like the emoji in con O combo opportunity, like you ult someone with con, emoji
then you
turn
ult
into
the
a cookie,
cookie.
then
Oh, you
cook-
could do
then
that
con
too. I've
throws
never
the
seen
cookie
that.
emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that done.
I've done it.
You've
It's
done
very hard
it?
timing, and the cookie is tiny, so it does have a small hitbox if you try and do it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah. You've got to be in
But yeah.
comms, I imagine.
Oh yeah, you got to plan that for sure. But
So
yeah, that's another good really combo.
that really is. The last thing is, does diminishing returns apply to certain card
You
talent
grab
buffs?
the other
And
one.
so you kind of already
Yeah.
answered that with earlier when you mentioned or corrected Turok when they said 45%.
Yeah.
You said realistically it's 30%. So let's get into that. How would we want to answer this? Yes, due to.
Yes, diminishing returns. Honestly, it's a really easy answer. Diminishing returns affects all buff, like buff and debuff combos, except knockbacks and knockups. So honestly, like what you put on that last line from the one above.
Yeah. So I'll put this. But I want to add to it.
Because speed buff stack, it is affected by diminishing returns. Granted, movement speed is less harshly affected by diminishing returns, and it does have a very high cap of I think like 150%.
Good night, Fusion.
Which is very hard to
Hey,
hit.
Fusion.
Thank you for the
Night
raid.
night.
Can we get a shout out for Fusion if we can?
Okay.
But you said movement speed.
Movement speed is less harshly diminished, but it does still get diminished. I think it's after 30%.
Do you want me to
Most things
snooze
are
these?
after 30%.
I'll do after.
Do you want me to snooze the ads?
Please.
Right.
Diminish, but still does after 30%, as for most other
Mhm.
buffs.
Now,
are
one thing to
included.
note though is that if you have a single instance, that full first single instance is going to go through. So if it's a 50% movement speed buff, you get that full 50% not diminished. It's when you stack another movement speed on
Right.
top of that. If then it's over that 30%, then it'll start getting diminished.
So first instance
So-
unaffected, only after.
Yeah,
Stacking.
first instance unaffected by diminishing returns. There you go. That's a good way to put it. Another thing is that reload speed is a hard cap of 60%. So if you're stacking reload speed buffs, it is going to hard stop at 60%. Reload speed is also not affected by diminishing returns because of that low hard cap.
Right. I'm gonna add that as like a side note, not affected.
Yeah, so you can have like a bunch of small instances of reload speed that grant up to 60%, and because even if it's like 5 different instances of smaller reload speed buffs, like you still get the full value,
Right.
even though it would go over that 30% and have multiple instances kind of thing.
And honestly, I mean, like you said, it is a straightforward answer, but this is a good kind of way to break it down, because it answers
There's some
that.
caveats.
Yeah, there are, and that's why I worded it, but still does after 30% as for most other buffs are included, because you do have your first instance, like you said, is not affected. But then after that, you have some people that are building off of that, thinking that it's making a difference when realistically it's not.
Right.
So it's like, don't even waste the time or the energy.
Like, Term doesn't care about diminishing returns on speed buffs because he wants as much as he's getting. Like, even if it
Right.
is diminished, he wants it. So,
Right.
Like, Term is
Some
like the
characters
exception
need
to
it. Yeah.
diminishing returns.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
actually
some
put
characters
that
just
in there.
need
Terms
that.
the exception.
So like with Terms, he gets what is it? He can get I think it's like what 50%. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. 40% movement speed because 4 charges of your Calamity Blast. So he can get 40%. You stack Nimble on top of that. It's going to be a diminished Nimble because it is over 30% in the second instance.
Right.
But it's still giving him more speed boost, and he needs those things.
Yeah, especially if he's running with supports that are running it.
Io stacking on top of that. Yeah, all these
Grog,
other instances. He's like, I don't care how
Ray,
much it's diminished.
yeah.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Right. Maldamba.
So there are things like that like it's just it don't even matter if it's diminished. They want it.
Yeah.
Because even if it is diminished, you are still getting some value from it. It's just
exactly.
Not
the value is not lost completely. Like so.
Exactly.
I mean, you pretty much covered it all. Overall, I think having the knowledge of how you can buff your teammates and when, because we didn't really talk about when. I think timing. We've mentioned a lot of these scenarios are timing in very niche situations. So again, adapting to the game as it's changing, especially if the game is speeding up and COT's already at max, at that point, you need to consider, okay, is it worth stacking more movement speed on this person's build that's already running it, that's pocketing this person, that's pocketing me? Like, keeping that in mind. I mean, you don't really think about it, but it's like, if you're losing games because of this, it is something to think about at that point. So it's just something to consider. Little nugget of knowledge. For real. Little sprinkle. But that's pretty much all we have for today. Did anyone want to add to this?
Don't flank.
Don't flank.
Don't play TDM.
Ray's number one advice is don't flank. Elk's number one advice, don't play TDM. My advice, uninstall the game.
Justin,
What's yours, Justin? Yours?
What's yours?
Which one's the best? Yeah, Justin, what's your advice?
Oh shit, I have to think of something. Brain work. Do better.
Do better. Do better.
I don't know.
That's honestly some big advice.
It's advice for myself.
Damn.
Triple. Don't 3-3-3 your card.
Make an outro with the song, but at the very
yes.
end, it's just Justin saying, "Do better."
Do better.
Do better.
Tarok says, yeah, it's why I hate Moji's heal talent, where healing all 10 stacks gives 10% speed buff. Then Moji has a card that gives 5% just by marking a teammate and it makes it harder to heal. Yeah. It's like, bro.
Oh yeah, Moji can be tricky with those speed buffs because
Yeah.
she starts getting people zooming when she stacks them up.
Yeah. It's like, girl, please, I can't.
Again, another good combo, Moji Term with the speed boost.
Yeah.
You gotta warn people or else they run into walls.
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break. If y'all want to chill for a little bit, I'm gonna just take a quick break. But
Like a
that's
roller
all.
coaster.